Hello and welcome for your daily astrology and tarot horoscope for Tuesday, September 9, 2014, brought to you by Nicholas. Today is Tuesday, so the planet of the day is Mars, and Mars is a very active go, go, go planet, so I definitely always try to work out on a Tuesday. I'll probably ride my bike for sure. Just get that martial energy out in order to use it constructively. Let's just keep that in mind. And right now in the astrology of everything with Mars is coming out of its conjunction with Saturn. So it's been leaving Saturn, it's getting pretty far, and it's heading for Sagittarius. I know a lot of people who've been experiencing and feeling this really heavy energy from the Mars and Saturn conjunction. So when we're thinking about Mars right now, at one time, just for the last few weeks, it's been conjunct Saturn, and it's been putting the brakes on a lot of people's stuff because Mars wants to go, 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 and Saturn wants to hold back, be constructive, and definitely do the intellectual work and the behind-the-scenes work. And what happens when they get together is they're both the malefics in traditional astrology. So Mars is they call it the lesser malefic, and Saturn is the greater malefic. So when they get together, it's not considered an auspicious time, but the best way people can weather that storm is through not being attached to the results, which is very, very hard to do. Not saying that I'm good at that, but also being very structured and really, really, really aligning with that Saturn energy. The more prepared you are, the more structured, the more you purge what's not needed. Those types of themes, plan the work the plan, and really understand cause and effect. Then something like this unfavorable transit will hit you. You might even thrive in it, because what it'll do is Mars will then just take your systematic approach and give you full energy to go into that system. But if you don't have those structures in place, it can be very, very painful and very, very difficult, and it could really throw a lot of monkey wrenches in your projects. So just keep that, Mars is getting away from Saturn now, so keep that in mind, that we're getting over this period, and this weekend, when Mars goes into Sagittarius, we're kind of over that cycle. That cycle's done. We'll kind of get a sigh of, fresh air, a little relief. So we only got about a week more of dealing with that cycle. In terms of the card of the day, is the Osho Beyond Illusion. It's the 20 card, and I do not have it out. There we go, talking about being structured and prepared. It's the one thing I didn't have ready. The reason why I already know the card of the day is I do a weekly reading. And although I like to make this video very spontaneous and extemporaneous, I think the people really gravitate toward the weekly readings, and they really look toward those for some guidance. So I find that it's been really helpful for people. So I do a weekly reading where all these cards are pulled out ahead of time for the day, and I just kind of restate what they were. But I also do a card for you from the Wild Unknown deck, which I'll pull soon. But this is the Beyond Illusion card. It's the 20 card of the Major Arcana, and it's basically starting out our week into these big, more higher and spiritual themes. Beyond Illusion is beyond the judgment. You're basically flowering in your consciousness. You'll be able to see past the duality of everything and really become one with everything. It's a very clever way the Osho deck portrays the Judgment card, because it's just like, it's beyond judgment. It's beyond illusion. And all, linear thinking and all abstract, assignments. If you consider something, abstract definitions. Once you get past those abstract definitions, then you're going beyond illusion, and you can actually blossom in your consciousness. So, this is a good thing. We don't always have access to this higher level of thinking, this intuitive level of thinking, and what to me this means, we're transcending it into this butterflying of consciousness, that we're actually able to fly with it in our actual day-to-day life. And so that's a very important thing to be thinking about, is like, how today is your mind changing? How are you tapping into this energy? And if you watch the weekly reading that I did, and I'm posting it in the body of this video as well, if you go to that video you will see that this is just the first major arcana card of many for the week. That is just, this is going to be a rip-roaring week for change, and I think it's been predicated on that Pisces full moon that's came in. You know, Pisces was, Neptune was conjunct Chiron and Pisces, and you know, in Pisces, and then the Sun is an opposite in Virgo, and so it's that practicality energy with all that healing energy. And then on the top of that, you have Venus in Virgo right now, and it's going to be opposite Neptune. So, you know, there's a lot of balancing out, and the North Node will be in Libra. So to me, this is a very balancing out month. Everything is kind of like the spirit realm and the healing realm, and balancing those two energies to make something practical. That is definitely what the astrology is about for these next few days. So I'm going to pull one more Wild Unknown card, and then we'll just go deep into the astrology. How about that? So I'm learning this deck. I say this in nearly every video, so this is just a couple weeks that I've been using this deck. So I'm learning the meanings, I'm seeing the visuals, and I've just got to be spontaneous with what the cards are kind of saying to me. So this is the Daughter of Wands. And as we know, Wands is a fire card. And the Daughter, when I see in here, I mean, I see a snake, but when you see the wands, there's blossoming and flowering, there's a lightness to it. So, you know, in this book, when she says there's a fire of wands, it's basically like a dark person, usually, you know, so like a dark woman and kind of younger. And the wands is very intense, and so when you line that with that Beyond Illusions, let's just be looking for that, like, that female, young female energy, but very fiery and very passionate. And someone like that coming in today that's going to help us move beyond our illusions. And now, let's go into the astrology. It's funny because when I pull the cards, and with her astrology, I'm just taking her suggestions of actually the court cards really representing a person in life. And I have found so far in my week that every single time I pull a court card and then I give the explanation of what you should be looking for, one of those people pop up in my life. I had a Son of Cups card last week, and that popped up in our reading. And sure enough, a new guy started in our office that represented that theme, or it could have been someone else who I work with. And so when I do these readings for you, it's really good if I'm saying there's going to be a dark female energy coming into your life, and she's going to be helping and complementing that Beyond Illusions card. I'm basically giving you that root meeting, and I really, really think you should use your intention to use your cards to figure out how to connect the dots. One of the greatest things about using divination and using tarot and astrology is the fact that you can get some anticipation about what's to come up. Sometimes the cards tell you things and then you don't do anything more with it, and then the event actually does manifest, but you never really realize the significance of that event. So right now, I'm giving you some anticipation for Tuesday of this Beyond Illusion, this higher consciousness, this blossoming that you're going to be able to take in both your spiritual and work and tangible life. And I'm giving you this Daughter of Wands card, this, you know, dark woman who's younger, coming in and kind of helping out that aspect. Now you can take your own divination practice, your own meditation practice, and really figure out how that's plugging in for you in your life. You know, this is definitely not a passive video, I would say. I would definitely recommend that you really plug it in to see how it is, because this is a general thing for everybody. And I do feel that these things do manifest in my life, absolutely, when I do these readings. But to really see how they affect you, you've got to take that extra step and make those pointed questions to the universe. But, long story short, the astrology for the day is, I know that Mercury is squaring Neptune. And let me just look at the chart. So today is Tuesday, September 9. Once again, I thought I edited this to give me that, but I didn't. Okay. Daily's chart. So as we know, the Sun is going to still be opposite Chiron, but it's kind of leaving that cycle because the Sun is at 16 degrees Virgo, And it moves faster than Chiron, which is at 15 degrees of Pisces. So we're kind of getting over this healing situation. You know, this is kind of the manifestation of what we learned from that opposition that's going on. So be looking for anything in regards to your healing insights and how you can patch any of that stuff up that's going on for you. You know, Mars right now is at 27 degrees Scorpio, which is getting us, it's making that beeline for Sagittarius, which is really good. That's going to take the brakes off of a lot of things, especially people feeling that Saturn-Mars conjunction. The other thing that's going on is, you know, you still have Venus, and it's still opposite of Neptune, but it's actually starting to make a closer aspect today. Venus right now is at 4 degrees Virgo, and Neptune is at 5 degrees Pisces. So basically, since Venus is the faster moving planet, it's coming in to make that, you know, this is a spiritual time and these are spiritual lessons. But one thing you got to realize when it comes to Neptune is Neptune's very deceptive. First off, and second off, we don't have control over it. It's a generational thing. It's a very, very powerful aspect. So when you see Neptune transits, you have to make sure that you can stay as grounded as possible and make sure you're seeing the reality for what it is. I really think that divination practices, or like, you know, asking the I Ching, asking the tarot cards, is a very good practice to really keep yourself on the right path during this time. Or, you know, getting an outside opinion about things. You know, if you're jumping into a relationship just out of the blue, just don't get caught up in thinking it's a long-term thing. You know, let this, once Venus is kind of done with this aspect, you got to, you know, give it another week and see how things start clearing up. Give it till, you know, after the full moon is kind of made a, you know, has kind of got away from these aspects. Give yourself some time to really see what these spiritual insights are meaning and what they're really doing. And one of the most important things to remember is this is a deep spiritual time because you have all these planets in Pisces and they're making all these oppositions to these planets in Virgo. So is there if there's anything that you can do to make any of this practical, it's going to be of much benefit to the world at large. So I hope you're looking into those themes, and I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching.